You are watching The Huddle. We are breaking down all 6 wildcard weekend games. Myself, Tony Farmer, Jason Anik. Let's get into it with that first wildcard game of the NFL postseason. It is the Chargers at the Houston Texans. The Chargers on the road here, but a very good road team. 6-3 straight up, 7-2 against the spread on the road this season. 7th in the league in net yards per play at plus 0.5. Chargers are incredibly efficient in turnover margin at plus 0.7 per game. Good enough for third best in the NFL. I've talked at length on this very program about Justin Herbert this season. Just a very good, very solid season. Took care of the football. Passed efficiently this season at 66%. Took a big stride under Harbaugh this season. Tony, are you taking a pass on this game? Your beloved Houston Texans?
Man, both of these teams are kind of my babies. I love the Chargers. I love the Texans. I feel like I like them more, both of these teams, more than most people out there. I lean toward the Chargers here, guys. I don't have a bet on the side. I think the Chargers have a better quarterback. Chargers have a better coaching staff. As much as I like D'Amico Ryans, you've got to give the edge there to Harbaugh. Chargers have a better kicker. There's another kicker reference for you guys. And Chargers are also the best red zone defense in the entire NFL, and the Texans are 27th best. So those are the reasons that I lean Chargers. You might see me get a Chargers money line bet down, before kickoff, but that's as far as I'll go with this one.
And that red zone defense plays into Kaimi Fairbairn there and some of the special teams elements there for the Houston Texans. Jason Anik, what do you got for this one? What are your thoughts on this game?
Oh, Ninja, I'm going to perk your ears up a little bit. And I will say, Anik versus Anik, a show I do with my brother here on Oddshark, 11 a.m. every week. We're sitting here on a Tuesday, right? And my show with John, we pick every game against the spread. So I try to do that as much as I can, or at least get a feel for the board in that sense. I'm on the Texans +3, -115 at BetMGM. I know we just saw it up on the board at 2.5. Tony, I considered the Chargers money line hard here, right? Couple numbers that you'll like on the Chargers, right? I'm the opposite of my pick. 36 points per game over the last 3 weeks. Maybe this is the Justin Herbert coming out party. No team's been better against the spread. 13-4 on the season. 11-2 against the spread as favorites. 6-1 against the spread as road favorites. Covered 5 straight road games. It goes on and on. Ninja, I don't think you're going to like this, but I think perhaps it's a year too early on the Jim Harbaugh regime, perhaps. And this league is funky. So I'm going to take the 3 points. I still think the Texans' best could be in front of them. Joe Mixon hasn't been great down the stretch, but LA is better against the pass than the run. I think if he can get things going, CJ Stroud could perhaps do some things. Deontay Johnson made his debut last week. We know about Nico Collins, clean game last week, 5 targets, 5 catches, and a tutty. The uneven regular season could be a thing of the past, right? The Texans were a little bit of the rage. We were talking heavy of them 4 or 5 weeks ago. Home underdogs in wild card games, 29-1 against the spread all time, with a winning outright record 16-14. Last year, both home underdogs won outright wild card games. Buccaneers +3 versus the Eagles, Texans +2.5 versus the Browns. I'll take the 3 for now with Houston.
Interesting. Like, I thought we were all going to be aligned with the Bolts here. You see my little super there, new Chargers fan. That's me. I'm hitching my wagon to the Los Angeles Chargers this offseason. They're my adopted team since my San Francisco 49ers are a shell of what they once were. Tony, your thoughts on Texans +3 at home?
I don't hate it. Like I said, I don't have enough conviction to get there. I've always felt like the Texans were a team that has underachieved this year. They're waiting for things to click. It's not far-fetched to think that things could click for them in this situation. I just can't get there myself. Keep an eye on the Chargers right guard who got hurt last week. I'm really curious to see if he's going to play in this one. And when we get to the playoffs, the running game is so important. And so if he's out, that's going to be a big downgrade for that running game.
I've decided to go touchdown props for all 6 games. So
wow.
I'll start us here. I'm looking at Will Dissly anytime touchdown. His number, the juice is all over the place here. Like +375 at BetMGM, all the way to +333 at Bet365. 5 catches on 6 targets for 42 yards and a tutty in Week 18. Maybe a bit of a dress rehearsal to get more involved in the Chargers offense on Saturday. He only had 2 touchdowns this season, but I think LA is going to need to be more than just Ladd McConkey on Saturday and throughout the postseason. McConkey is around +130. Depending on the book for an anytime touchdown. Quentin Johnston around +240, but given that Johnston can get a case of the dropsies, as we've seen throughout his career and even this season, I think maybe Disley gets the same sort of attention and the same sort of love from Justin Herbert like we saw in Week 18. Plus 375 at BetMGM. Very good price and an example of the importance of shopping around there, Tony.
No doubt about it. What was there, like a 40-cent difference, I think, between the
40-cent difference, dude.
Yeah, big deal.